It's time!
Our next topic is the fight purse for Power Slap has been announced. Dana White, in an interview, has said how much a fighter who participates in the Power Slap League made. This is what he said in an interview.
These people that came and competed, first of all, these are all grown men and women who make their own decisions on wanting to compete in this sport, right? Number one. Number two, these guys are changing, their families' lives. I mean, some of these guys, Frank, what kind of a number did somebody walk away with tonight that probably made the most for tonight? Yeah. I'm going to walk out of here with $45,000. You know what I mean? And no, we're going to have the stories written tomorrow. Oh, this is disgusting. These people did this for $45,000. That's how this shit works. Some of these guys probably don't make $45,000 a year. They made it in one night. And now, we're on our way, and this thing's going to grow. I mean, it started out, it used to drive Lorenzo Fertitta crazy when we first started the UFC. Everybody who competed here had jobs. So they would have to go, train for this thing and do all this shit. And they had to go back to work when they were done competing here. But that's how things start. That's how, it's the way you start a business.
The words from the wise Dana White. What do you think about that, Isaiah?
Man, that is a loaded question because, he's right, but there's things that I don't agree with that.
Okay.
That's
Explain yourself, man.
Let's break this down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say that the UFC didn't exist for a second and it just started. Would there be people saying the same things about this in comparison to the way that people view UFC now?
Mm-hmm.
And he's right. He's the one who started the business himself.
Yeah.
And he's been there, done that kind of guy. And so, people probably said the same thing about UFC. Oh, what you're fighting someone. You have like the possibility of getting your nose broken, your legs broken, your joints broken, all for this amount of money. And then look where the UFC is now. It's the largest mixed martial arts promotion to date.
Mm-hmm.
And so no, I can't agree with that logic. But at the same time, it's even though that is true, and to make 45,000 in one night for the guy who made the most, that's a lot for some of these people, and to them it might not mean so much just to get slapped around for that amount of money. Like I'd have to ask myself what it like. Let's say the rules were different. Let's say it was just me versus like another person, a certain amount of slaps for 50 grand. I think I might have to think about that. That's a lot of money, and I could invest that money, yada yada yada. But the what I don't agree with per se still is the idea of the sport in the sense that there's no chance of defending yourself. And I think that's the difference between fighting and whatever this is. I wouldn't consider this fighting because there's no skill set involved in terms of defense. It's literally, can you make your opponent um unable to continue via slapping them hard enough? And like I'm not sure if I see that as a sport that someone will last long in. And that part I don't quite agree with. I like seeing people become legends, people become fighters, right? In the UFC, whether it's in boxing, yes, the risk is there, but you're able to judge them based off of their skill. And yes, it is a young man's sport, but there's like a way to get out. There's different ways to win. This one, I could see someone consistently going for maybe about like a year before they start seeing like some very bad health risks. And that's the part I'm like, it'll make money. I just don't from an ethnic standpoint.
You mean
Sorry, not
ethical?
ethnic. From ethic, bruh. I went to college, you guys. From an ethical standpoint, Jesus Christ, Isaiah. From an ethical standpoint,
Uh-huh.
I don't agree with the way that works. So I don't think you could pay me any amount of money to like contractually do it for like a long time. Maybe one or two fights. Sure, you can make an argument for that. That is a lot of money per capita,
Mhm.
but like on a contractual sense, where like you expect me to come in like, yeah, this and this and this date. No, I'm going to be deaf and I'm not gonna have a jaw and I'm going to have a pretty bad CTE mark by the third month, maybe. That's what I think about that. What do you think about this, Mark? What do you think about just that whole situation of power slapping becoming an actual event?
So here's the thing. Let me just say this. If it's such a good idea, then why did the TBS cut the Power Slap League from their showing? Right. So this is brought to you by CBS as well as MMA Mania, and TBS has officially cut ties with the Power Slap League.
Hmm.
All right, so Dana White's slap fighting project launched in January 2023 on TBS, airing at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The final episode drew an average of 220,000 viewers with a 0.05 rating and coveted between 18 to 49-year-olds demographic. The numbers throughout the season fluctuated and gradually dropped with each episode. So as each episode went, their ratings went down and down.
Hmm. I mean, well, I will say from like from a business standpoint, these type of business ventures, not everything works out,
Yeah.
and it's maybe not quite accepted as it is right now. I mean, I'm pretty sure like when the UFC started out, it was in the same vein where like
Uh-huh.
it was very niche.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember they were on Spike TV. They were on.
Spike TV, Rampage, and like Anderson
Yeah,
Silva, and those when like the UFC was like new, it was very niche.
yeah, and a lot
Um,
of people didn't like it because it was very barbaric. Because
yes.
there were a lot of blood. Because again, elbows and knees
Hmm.
cuts were a thing, and people were on top of each other trying to submit or the ground and pound them. Right, that was a lot of
Hmm.
things, and a lot of people didn't like that. But
Yeah,
here's
so yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's why I have like this little half answer for it. It's
well, the thing
yeah,
is the difference between that and the power slap league. You can defend yourself, right?
yeah.
It's unfortunate you get cut from an elbow. It is what it is. But you have so many other avenues of trying to win. Either kicking your opponent, submitting them, dodging punches, winning on points, you know, whatever it might be. Well, here there's only one avenue, and that is to slap each other until one of you gives out because you either got concussed, knocked out, or your face can no longer handle the punishment, right? And Dana White said, the highest grossing person can win $45,000 in one night, right? But it's not
Hmm.
like one time event. It's an entire it's almost an entire tournament type style. So you have to go through multiple opponents and get hit in the face. So let's say $45,000 that one night. All right. Let's put this in perspective of the worst case scenario. Let's say he had a broken orbital bone, right? So where this event happens is in Nevada. So here in Las Vegas, if you want your broken orbital bone repaired with implants, you're going to see yourself between $7,500 to almost $11,000 for a hospital bill, right? But that depends. Again, it ranges between $6,800 to $13,000. So one thing, right? But your face is an entire structure. So it's just your orbital bone. It could also be your mandible, your jaw, right? If you break your jaw, you're going to need some X-rays. So that's another $1,000. Then if it's your broken mandible, that's another $5,000 to get that repaired through surgery, right? In addition to that, if you break your orbital bone and you continue to get punishment on your orbital bone, you could have a detached retina, and the treatment for that is $5,000 to $10,000. So down the drain, that one night of you going through the tournament and beating people, you could be seeing yourself at a bill of roughly around $25,000. That's already half of the $45,000 gone to medical bills. In addition to that, you'll have to take time off from work or whatever you're doing because you have to get those repaired. In addition to that, you now have other bills that you need to pay. So it might be grand to get $45,000 in one night, but there are so many implications behind that because you are getting beat and you don't have a way of protecting yourself, unlike the UFC and MMA, where you can block, you can dodge, you can take them to the ground so you don't get punched in the face, right? Well, here, you just stand there, put your hands behind your back, and get slapped in the face as hard as you can.
There's people keep forgetting about the insurance. Like there's no insurance.
There's no insurance in this. Not only that, but $45,000, and you cut. This is just like the operations itself, right? I'm not accounting for the actual hospital and their services and all the different fees that they place inside of those. Just a hospital visit for a dislocated patella already saw a bill of nearly $2,500.
Bro,
if you dislocate your patella, it's easy to put that back in, right? But you're inside the hospital using their facility, in their bed, using their equipments and all that other things that they want to put into that bill. Just imagine that you get beat by getting slapped in the face multiple times and you come home with $45,000, but you have to go to the hospital because your face is so messed up and you can't see because you detach your retina because you're getting slapped in the face and getting your orbital bone fractured. Does not seem like a great idea for a $45,000 check that night. There are long-term negative health effects behind this, guys. I'm not trying to shit on Dana White's idea because I get where he's coming from. He started the UFC and now it's like a multi-billion-dollar company. It's just this idea of slapping each other without defense turns off a lot of people because there's no contest. It's just straight barbarism, just beating each other, man.
You know what Dana should do instead? He should like invest in a new company based around like HEMA. That'd be kind of cool. Like swords and stuff. Remember there's like I forgot the name of the people who make it, but like there's people who go in full suits of armor and they just like go ham MMA style knees, elbows, and then they got like armor on though. That's so cool. So then you get like a whole bunch of different other types of sports in there, fencing, what do you call? I forget. Like it's blanking on me. The Japanese.
Oh, you mean Aikido?
Sword.
Oh.
What do you call that? Where
Wait.
they have the sword and there's this. Oh my god, I'm like blanking out on it.
Well,
right
I
now.
know Aikido is like disarming people with weapons.
With sword. That's what it was for,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work in
real life.
in real
But
life.
Yeah, but the thing is, that would work in your scenario because there's swords, and
Yes.
they're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna use a keto now, so we can finally see an
Yeah.
Aikido practitioner use it in an actual scenario where it's intended to be used.
Oh, dude, what's his name? The actor.
Oh, the Steven Seagal.
Yeah, he's gonna come. He's gonna make a comeback. He's gonna make a
Man's
comeback.
too
That's how he's gonna
fat,
make
bro.
the comeback.
But yeah, I would rather see something like that, rather than slapping people in the face and not now no form of defense. Like the person can't even dodge it. You just stand there, bite down on their mouthpiece, and take it.
Take him. Take
And
it.
I'm like, dog, that's so bad because like not only that, but multiple slaps to your face, right? At the power that they're using, the stuff I've seen so far, that has such bad effects on your brain. Oh my goodness. You're gonna get CTE so much faster because it's like whack. Not only that, but they're concussed and they come back up and they try to go again. And I was like, no, stop it.
It's an open hand strike, my guy. That's what it is. It's an open hand strike. This is not like a slap out of distaste, dog. This is a slap to make sure that you get knocked out. That's an
Yeah,
open
you
hand
go to
strike.
bed, bro. It's not, yeah, it's not. I understand why TBS was like, yeah, no, this is not. We don't want our company to be associated with this type of entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, it is entertainment, but it's not the type of entertainment people want to watch. Because there's no contest. There really isn't a contest, in my honest opinion. Maybe in terms of strength, yes, but in terms of skill, not so much, man. It's just you just taking a free shot at an open target. In addition to that, 45,000 is a great number, but you have to account for all the bills and the medical treatment you'll have to get, especially if you got like really effed up throughout the tournament, right? So, Dana White, you do you. I hope you find another network to host the Power Slap League, but I don't think any one of the current networks are going to take that unless Spike does.
And I mean, we'll see, because like, never say never. People have said the same thing about the UFC, just like Dana White said, and I wouldn't be surprised if
someone
more
takes
people
it.
start getting into it. Like, yeah, because I mean, we have the UFC, but we also have Pride, ONE FC.
Yeah, but
One.
Let's just be honest here, Isaiah. Do you really want to see something like that?
Me personally, no. But what I'm saying is, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it blows up and then
it would blow up
we're
somewhere
just
like in
stupid.
Florida, but not here.
Because I mean, I think Russia had the one who actually
Russia
started.
Has,
this whole
Russia
thing,
has one. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but
I guess this is just Dana White's like pushing the market. I don't know.
Me personally, I don't think it's gonna succeed. Primarily, what the audience want and see, and what they are looking for, it's not something that's gonna hold their attention. Because if you look at it, not only in terms of the Power Slap League, but if you look at it in other sports, the highest grossing viewership is the NFL, because there is a form of skill, because there's defense. People are still allowed to tackle each other. There's a form of offense. Well, the NBA, even though it is exciting and it's high offense, there is a lack of defensive skill, and the numbers behind watching the NBA is dropping every single year. Because there is not enough skilled position. Everyone's just shooting threes rather than posting up and trying to shoot a mid-range or trying to drive to the basket or anything like that. There really isn't much diverse skill. It's just everyone's trying to shoot a three, and it's not as exciting as someone doing a dunk on someone, And that's no longer the case. And that's why the NBA is dropping. And I think in terms of a skill-based sport, people want to watch those because, again, it keeps them excited because it's a skill versus skill opponent. That's why the UFC is always doing such high numbers, because it's a skill versus skill opponent. Well, the Power Slap League, fortunately, does not do that. It's my strength against your strength to my face. I'm not gonna move.
Oh my god. They should have it to where it's just one. If you get knocked down once, that's it.
Yeah,
That'll save you.
yeah. You know what? I'd agree with that, but no, no. It would, if that was the case, it would be like a 15-minute show at best.
Yeah, I know, but come on, we're trying to think about safety here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm saying if they want to do something like this, make them move, block, you know? Instead, this would be like slap boxing, but instead of like a closed fist, it's an open hand strike.
Oh my god. I don't know. It's like I'm
I don't.
what's that word? I'm half and half because I understand the venture, but it's just so dangerous.
It's not. It's not just it's dangerous. It just really doesn't have much of a skill requirement behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest, if you watch sports, right, you don't want to watch an opponent that's going to be absolutely outclassed by the other opponent, right? We want to see equally skilled opponents face each other. That's why a lot of people are rooting for this Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk, because it's two equally skilled men trying to fight. Devin Haney versus Lomachenko, two equally skilled men trying to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than two people stand there and slap each other until someone knocks out because you hit them hard enough to where circulation to their brain, or, you know, a concussion happens.
That's what I'm saying. Like you won't remember your heroes for very long in this sport.
It's not fun. It's not even entertaining to me.
Oh, do you remember? You remember this guy? Oh yeah, dude, he was a classic. Yeah, he like came in like 2 weeks ago.
He was only here for like 2 seasons, bro. And yeah, where's he now? He's in like the old people's home because he has like severe CTE. And like, damn. Does he have insurance? No.
No, he lasted kind of a while though. Yeah, damn. Maybe he shouldn't have.
Yeah, dude. They'll be like, he's
so much.
He's like, he's the greatest of all time because he lasted for 2 seasons. Oh my goodness.
God, no.
Imagine doing it for 4 seasons, dog. No. This is not something that's meant for a long term. I mean,
it's not, and that kind of sucks because like I mean in boxing and MMA, you know, you have people that you love to watch.
Yeah,
Devin Haney, Kambosos.
So like
Pacquiao,
in those sports, like on average, you can see a fighter's career go from 10 to 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's close to a good lifetime right there. 10 to 15 years. And I don't see anyone doing that for 10 to 15 years because you know what? They would be speaking nonsense and they'd be shaking with Parkinson's as they try to slap their opponent. It's not going to be a good thing. And Dana White's like, yeah, you know, people, when the UFC started, they had jobs and stuff. Yes. But again, there's skills, right? There's skill levels to where they can train so they don't get hurt and they can do the hurting on their opponent and avoid having to miss time off work. Well, here you're purposely standing in front of your opponent and getting hurt. So you're going to miss some time from work because you have to go through recovery.
Oh,
imagine getting concussed. You think you can go to work, especially if you work like at a restaurant or at a bar or something like that, where it's loud music, flashing lights, and you got concussed from participating in the Power Slap League? It's going to be hell on earth. You can't do that. Oh, we spent way too long on this topic.
I know we did it.
But let us know what you guys think in the comment section below, whether or not $45,000 for one night to participate in the Power Slap League is worth it. And will the Power Slap League actually take hold in the American market and be a staple sporting event here? I really hope not here in the United States. Let us know in the comment section below.